This is Josiah Plays Tyranny. Alright, we're going to talk to Lucia and Marcus again. Well, if it isn't the Fatebinder, what can we do for you? I can't say any of these soldier or pit fighter or hunter lines. What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terratus. Unlike the Chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. If they're seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? I don't have enough reputation with them to answer that question. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the great general's history to outsiders. But you'll say that it involves the great general, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat. He just said drat. Drat. At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Oh, I don't have enough reputation to ask that question. Wait, is this all a ruse? Did Tunon send you to test the army's training and grit? Because I won't stand for it. Will you calm the fuck down, you tangled fishnet of nerves? This is after how many head wounds you took last week. Stop looking for enemies behind every shadow. I guarantee you'll be disappointed. Marcus, tell me about yourself, and don't freak the fuck out this time. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. Marcus sounds like he's about to tell you about towers and their vulnerability to cannons. You think he sounds like Pallegina? You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. That does seem rare, especially for an army of evil. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Oh, I don't have enough reputation to talk to her about that. I know a thing or two about spitting foes who are stupid enough to challenge me. What of it? Easy, Lucia. We don't punish curiosity here. No need to fly off the handle on the basis of a simple reflection. See, this is so funny, because when I questioned him, he flew off the handle and she told him don't fly off the handle. Then when I question her, she flies off the handle and he tells her not to. These fucking two, seriously. They train us well, Fatebinder. The Archon makes sure that our potential is realized before we reach battle, so most of us keep a cool head when we see in the action. He looks at Lucia with a frown. Most of us, I said. That's all for now. Farewell. So what I'm going to do next, before I go in the tent... I want to try something. It's going to take forever, though. So, I have not yet proclaimed the edict, okay? So the magic of the edict hasn't taken effect yet. So check this shit out. I'm about to do some paradox shit. And I don't mean the publisher of the game, I just mean like I'm going to create a paradox. What if... Hold on. Normally, as soon as you proclaim the edict, you get a little timer up here. It pops up here and it tells you how many days you have left. And I know that if that time runs out, you lose the game. But what if I rested until past the Day of Swords, the Kairos Day of Swords, before proclaiming the edict? What would happen? When I proclaim the edict and it's already past that day, will we instantly die or what? So hold on, I'm going to save the game, and then I'm going to rest a shitload of times. Judge's Day, Farmer's Day, Farmer's Day. For science, I got to do it for science, that's right. I know resting a whole bunch of times isn't going to be fun, per se, but finding out what happens is going to be fun. Smith's Day. In before Edict to proclaim. So another Fatebinder shows up at the camp, and it's like, if you don't proclaim that fucking Edict in the next hour, everyone in the valley will die. That would be amazing. Edict to proclaim the Edict. Edictception. I have to know what happens. Warrior's Day. I might still just insta-lose the game. Healer's Day. More Healer's Day. Judge's Day. This is like watching the construction of the garbage tower. Oh yes, Judge's Day. That's my day. Oh, the garbage tower was so great. It's one of the best things anyone's ever done in a game. Farmer's Day again. Smith's Day again. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. Smith's Day. Well, it's Kairos' Day of Swords. So what if I rest past Kairos' Day of Swords? Do I instantly lose the game? Nope. It's Warrior's Day, Span of Blood. Alright, I've officially passed the time limit. Nothing bad has happened. What does the edict say? See, it says on the Day of Swords. It didn't specify what month. That's not true. Day of Swords. Swords is the month. It doesn't specify what year. It could be any Day of Swords. No, I'm sure that's not how it works. Now, let's go in there and proclaim the edict real quick and see what happens. Oh, I passed a 10. We're gonna just skip through the conversation really fast. So I can proclaim the edict. And then we're gonna reload the save. Yeah, everybody shut up. We don't care. We've got an edict to proclaim.
Hey, watch yourself.
Did I give you permission to speak? My soldiers, mothers.
No. Once again, you bring us support in a time of need.
Alright, we're planning the edict. You know where the game formats your hard drive.
So you found the fate binder.
I won't let...
Okay, what happens? I need to know what happens. And then he talks to us some more. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Graven Ash. Then the Iron Marshal, whose armor looks cool as shit.
I got it.
Oh my god! It rolls around to the next year! That's amazing! I have 363 days! Well, if you had a problem with that time limit, I just found the way to circumvent it. I have 363 days. Hurry! Hurry! You waste no more time! We've only got an entire fucking year to get this done! That's so good. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Alright, I'm not gonna do that though, because that seems like bullshit. But that was pretty cool. I did not expect that. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Josiah breaks the game. Yeah, you know that 8-day time limit? If you're having a I should make a little guide video and put it on YouTube. What to do if you're having a time limit with the start of the game. Just rest a bunch beforehand, and your time limit becomes 363 days. That would be a great achievement. Kairos just pressed the Dark Feather no button. I was right though. That loophole actually works. It doesn't say what year. It just says by the Day of Swords. So if you wait till after the Day of Swords and then proclaim it, by the wording of the thing, you actually have a year. Learn to write your edicts better, Kairos. All you had to do was say on the Day of Swords 431 TR or whatever year it was, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. Dude, that's some shit that Tunon would punish me for, though. I go back to see Tunon afterwards, and he is not amused. Alright. Cool. I am, however, going to rest once. So I can get rid of her wound so that now she has enough athletics to,
I got it.
That may be how to get the fourth ending. Kairos didn't want to date his edict. Yeah. Kairos just got lawyered. Found a loophole, buddy. Found a loophole. So I'm about to waste a whole bunch of time going back to the Edgering Ruins. I assume the fourth path through the game is just not siding with anyone. Yeah, Necro, but I'm not sure. Obviously, 3 of them are side with the disfavored, side with the chorus, side with the rebels. But I don't know how you even do the fourth path. Oh wait, we gotta go this way first. And yes, Nox, I am going to do that. What I'll do is I'll proclaim the edict, I'll just play through the game normally, but then right before I get to the part of the game when you actually go and finish this shit, then I'll save the game and rest until the end, just so I can see exactly what happens when you fail it. Alright, let's climb up this fucker.
I'll be your shadow. That wasn't so hard.
Ooh, that was worth it. We just got a scroll. Scrolls are the best things you can get. Also got some nice gauntlets here. Let's see, I think they're exactly like the ones she's wearing. Yeah, they are exactly like the ones she's wearing. Except they look different. Those match her stuff better. They're way better than what I'm wearing, so let's put those on. And we'll go ahead and... I don't even have enough lore for this. This is an advanced sigil. Spells to generate an aura around the target, so I can't even read that yet. Now we'll go back down. It was worth coming back for that, though. Definitely.
Can't do that.
And then we'll go climb up to the other hidden loot thing.
Sorry, I can't.
Comedians are supposed to avoid talking about current events? Really? That doesn't seem to be what comedians do, in my experience. Huh. Okay. Cosmo have anything else I wanted to buy? No. Where the hell is that other one? Here it is. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that, Saito. The rope appears to be secured strongly enough to hold your weight. Up we go.
Have a look here.
Oh, and hidden stuff has been found.
Moving cautiously.
Potion of invisibility. Scouts use potions of invisibility to move unseen, breaking the effect if time passes or they take hostile action. I wonder if healing people counts as hostile action. Sell the edict? Yeah, it won't let you, unfortunately. That would be fucking amazing, though. You find the hidden base at the very start, before the boulder? Yes, I did. I did find that. Kairos' chief scouts have expended no lack of effort finding better ways to move unseen. In the end, their best inspiration came from the animal realm. This potion is the distilled essence of skin samples and expressed glands from any number of beasts capable of camouflaging their presence. Drinking the foul mixture offers the imbiber a degree of disruptive coloring, making them visually indistinct from their environment until the effects wear off. That's cool. I'll take it. Alright, I got all the loot off this map now. Got all the loot. What's up, Mocking Blaze? Hail Kairos!
Sorry, I can't.
Put a chameleon into a juice press, you can make a drink that turns you invisible. Yeah, basically. Can't wait to run a spit through those rebel dogs. Seems logical. Rasta says you're good to pass. Alright, we'll go back to the disfavored camp. I keep wanting to call them the Dishonored, but they're not called that. They're called the Disfavored. Now, finally, we're going to go do the thing that most people do within the first 30 minutes of playing this game. We're going to go talk to the Archons. Finally.
Sorry, I can't.
Farmer's Day, 19 span of swords. Do you think time passes? I think they said time really doesn't pass in real time when you're just standing around here and you're not resting or traveling. I'd rather have it be daytime, but I don't want to waste too many times resting, you know, because of the time limit and stuff. Before we step in here, we're going to save the game. Here we go. Finally, we get to this scene. Do you know what the Archons were historically? Nope. I assume you mean historically. Perhaps the voice is in your Oh, I'm missing out on dialogue here. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna have to read all of this out loud. Yesterday, you chid me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously.
Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday, you. Today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements?
I don't need your heckling. I need your scouting reports. Or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley.
Oh, that! We will solve it in our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy, after all.
Mercy? They have already shat upon our mercy once before. These gutter-born South Knobs deserve nothing better than death. South Knobs. That's a great word.
Oh, calm down now. We must leave something to Ruel. Or have you forgotten Kairos' orders? Patience, old chum.
Alright, so here we are. Can I just loot stuff in here before even talking to them? Archons first emerged in Athens serving as sort of public officials. Okay, I thought it was of Greek origin, but I didn't know for sure what it meant. This battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts
Can't do that.
failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Alright. If I loot this... Oh no, we started into the cutscene now.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
Oh shit, you're missing some cohorts. So look at this guy. He has this big glowing thing in the center of his chest. He's like fucking Fat Blue Iron Man with incredibly white beard. He uses beard whitening strips, apparently. I have very little favor or wrath with him. The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground. Here we go. Everybody that has a staff in this game is going to be pounding that shit on the ground. They were like magistrates chosen from the aristocracy who served as heads of state. Ah, interesting. He pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy. Yeah, big glowing thing in the middle of his chest.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. So basically this dude just has a floating head with green flames. Green flame! And doesn't even have a neck, which is pretty weird. Alright, that seems like a reasonable division of Rolls, Saito. So when he twirls the rod in hypnotic circles, you hear the voices in your head. So he's communicating with us telepathically at the same time he's talking to Graven Ash.
Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. Now, if you'll notice, look, her little portraits here on the conversation actually change based on what she's wearing. It shows her in her new armor, which is pretty cool. Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I will remain silent.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
Reputation has gone flaccid. Shots fired. My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak. That's Iron Marshal Arenos. She looks pretty cool. I like her armor and her helmet and stuff. When Athens became a democracy, their terms were reduced to 1 year. The Polemarch lost their military power to the Strategoi generals and a new class of lesser archons. Huh. Blasted reputation is too much rot spear knocks? Yeah. Nobles with vested political power. Yeah, well, you could argue that about every democracy, probably. I mean, it might not be nobles per se, but the rich people that are the aristocrats that go and get groomed for political power and have the right education and the right connections are almost always the ones that have political power. So it's really, just because we're not calling them nobility doesn't mean they're actually not functionally like nobility from that back then. Alright, so Arenos wants to let me speak, which is nice of Arenos.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
I love the voices of Marat. He's so cool. Balding halfwit. The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. And in my head, we can hear,
Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough if we have your attention.
Are you two just about done? I will cough, actually. I will cough. Well, that seems to be exactly how it is now, at least in my country, and probably every other country that's a democracy. In theory, anyone could be a congressman or a president or a Supreme Court justice or whatever. But in reality, it's almost all the aristocracy. In reality, there's never been a true democracy, yeah. Well, that's kind of how I've always felt. Alright, let's cough audibly.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
In cahoots. The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul, as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
See, I really do want to side with the voices of Nerat, but I'm ultimately not going to. The voices of Nerat tosses his scepter into the air, catching it as it descends back down.
Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something.
I'll remain silent still.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
So obviously there's some communications problems here, and these two do not get along.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsman, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren, of course, is the Archon of Song, and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voices of Nerat, who uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. She's only 15. She was a little girl and she started developing these powers, and like in the short story that they wrote about her, at one point a bunch of people wanted to like kill her or drive her out of town or something, and she started singing and basically everybody went crazy and started killing each other and ignoring her. And so then the voices of Nerat was like, oh, that seems like useful power, so he grabbed her up and made her an Archon. Today it refers to members of a specific order of Orthodox priests. I also didn't know that. Interesting. The Archon flips his scepter 3 times around, humming gleefully. You hear the voices in your head.
Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. An excess of knowledge, of curiosity even, can earn unwanted attention.
Hold your tongue! I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren! Commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head.
They bicker like children, do they not?
The Fifth Eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear.
I, meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder.
The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute.
And not a moment too soon.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He is even more taciturn in the flesh. Yeah, so the Archons of Athos were kind of a big deal. Of Athens, not Athos. I can be diplomatic to them. I can glare silently, or I can be really diplomatic because I'm a diplomat. Well, let's do this. Bow and salute each Archon. That makes them both happy.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
Major favor with Horus and Nerat. The Fire Starter. Conquest Decision. Wait, we've read this already. We've already read this about the Fire Starter title. It's because we burned the Vellum Citadel. 92% to tier 1 favor with the chorus. Oh, that's with the voices of Narat himself.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Eddring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I just gained some favor for saving Drastus in the beginning. I can kiss ass a little bit, I can go right to the point with the edict, or I can be a little bit bajiggity. I'm gonna be a little bit bajiggity. Now I know what the Archons were. Yeah, thanks, Saito, for the history lesson.
Are you all done bickering? I have an edict to proclaim.
My dear Binder, we won't be done bickering until the last of Ash's hair falls out. We'll pause for you to read your little missive. Go on, don't keep us all in suspense.
And Voices Interact sounds like the Joker to me, and I just reached tier 1 favor with him. Cool.
Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the chorus in the taking of the Bastard City. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will?
Gained a major favor because of this. The Bastard City, now the site of Tunon's court in the Tiers, was taken in the first year of the conquest, in concerted effort between the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus, the first and last battle wherein the two armies acted in relative harmony. When it came time to strike at the city, you commandeered several gangs of Chorus conscripts and helped unleash a night of slaughter and fire on the Bastard City. Oops, that makes it sound really evil. Let's see. Now I have to decide how I proclaim this. And I feel like this is important, because based on what I want to actually do with siding with the rebels, I feel like I need to pronounce this in just the right way. So if I say the Overlord's loyal servants must hold the hall, that's not good if I want to side with the rebels. Because then if the rebels hold the hall, then it doesn't meet the edict. If I say, unless Ascension Hall is claimed, that's more generic. It doesn't say claimed by who. Or I can be really bajiggity about the incompetence and disarray, which I actually like.
In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords
of some year. Be as vague as possible. Yeah, so in honor of incompetence and disarray, that's pretty funny. Ash doesn't like that, Narat likes it. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. This is the part I don't get, though. If Kairos wrote the edict in a specific way, if every syllable, quote-unquote, was drafted by the hand of Kairos, why the fuck do I get a choice about the way I pronounce it? I mean, either it's written a specific way or it's not, right? With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. And some dramatic shit goes down. Edict proclaimed.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
We all gonna die. Yeah, maybe that's true, Saito. That makes sense.
We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The
Plan
Earthshakers
Green?
didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard. His super white beard.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
So, if that was a record, if they lost 13 guys in a battle, and that was a record, then that's pretty impressive. That means they hardly ever lose any people in battle. If losing 13 soldiers is a fucking record, that's impressive. The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see Blood Echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd used the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's rib cage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. Okay, we all just learned something here. Now we know how a real man deals with grief. Making a breastplate out of your dead brother's rib cage. So next time one of my family members dies, I'm going to be like, I'm going to need the bones out of the body, because I need to make some, like, armor out of the bones of my dead, because that's how I deal with grief, because I'm a real man. That is pretty metal, though. I'll give it to him. I don't remember how great things worked out for Cortez, no. Let's see, what do I want to say here? I could use the subterfuge route to try to bait Nerat into revealing something good. Yeah, there was another Archon of War. Ash wasn't the first. That means Nerat must be really old, because they said Graven Ash is hundreds of years old. So if Nerat remembers from the Archon before Graven Ash, then Nerat must be even more hundreds of years old. Then again, Nerat has the memories of a whole shitload of other people in him. So he himself might not be as old, he might just have memories of people from before. Hard to say, hard to say. Super good guy. Oh yeah, I know Cortez was not good. Alright, let's try to bait him into revealing something. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. He said manipulatively.
I second the Fatebinder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secrets turns his head to the side until the face of his mask is turned around and a new facet of the mask presents itself as facing forward. When next the Archon speaks, the booming voice of an older man can be heard.
Cowards! If I were still alive, I'd freeze the blood as it runs in your veins. You may take the river, but you'll pay for it with your lives.
The voices of Nerat appears to be channeling the personality of Master Hagravar. Hagravar was one of the elders of the School of Tides, a southern school of water magi that fell to Kairos' forces in 429, during the initial attack on Vendrian's Well. By your order, the Tidecasters taken in battle were presented to the voices of Nerat so that their magic might be integrated into the Archon's ever-growing arsenal of knowledge. Yeah, I remember when I made that decision. So he's channeling this Tidecaster mage guy. He literally has a rotating drama mask. Yes, he does. The Archon slaps a hand against his mask, rotating his mask until a new facet looks forward.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Matani, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
Oh, and because I made that choice in the conquest, I get to say this. And he likes it. That's awesome. I know that voice. Master Hagravar of the School of Tides.
Yes, and that old codger put up quite a fight on the way out. Almost turned himself into a puddle to escape our interrogations. He's not the last of the Tidecasters, though. At the time of his death, there was another. A woman named Ebb. We believe she is one of the mages assisting these Oathbreakers.
She's the narrator in the beginning of the game. She's also a potential companion. I say potential companion because I've seen a couple of playthroughs on the streams where she gets executed straight up instead of being a companion. Yeah, Ab will probably not be super thrilled. Well, the only other choice was to simply murder all of the mages. So it's not like either way she was not going to be happy with what I did. Lives hang in the balance because you bicker like children. No more sitting idle. Trust you're done acting the clown. No more sitting idle. I expect the disfavored to be on the march at once.
You've delivered your edict. Do not pretend it gives you the right to give orders to an Archon.
Well, I mean, in some cases I do actually have the right to give orders to an Archon. Oh, I'm up to Wrath 1 with Graven Ash. She doesn't like me. My lord, Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. We saw Barrick out there by the training yard. Though you know him only by name, Barrick is the commander of the Stone Shields and well regarded by the disfavored High Command. He's a companion.
And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I'm an honored guest. So she's been commanded to continue guarding me, which is great.
I won't let you down, boss. She'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as she doesn't do anything too stupid.
Oh, I'm certainly going to do stupid things. Verse has 3 loyalty and 2 fear with me, though. That's amazing. Voices, could you sound any more menacing? Yeah, he's pretty evil sounding. The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the 5th eye on the shoulder, and the 2 depart. See, I don't get this. Why does he say,
Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us...
How am I ignoring him? I haven't ignored him at all. Taps the 5th eye on the shoulder, and the 2 depart. off they go.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
Again, see, this makes me think that the whole which one of them becomes the governor is really important part of the game plot. I guess because you didn't outright call the Dishonored stupid and high-five the voices? Yeah, I guess so.
Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us.
Our allies. That's the chorus he's talking about.
Now, if you'll leave me be, I have a battle to plan. I imagine duty requires you speak with the chorus further, but if I can convince you to lend a hand, most of my legion is trapped beyond the mountains, so I'm in need of an added sword or two.
I don't even have a sword.
If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
See, how do you refuse that? The way he phrases that makes you want to do what he wants. If you wish to be counted among the glorious, who's like, fuck that, I don't want to be part of the glorious. I want to be part of the suck instead. I mean, of course you want to be counted amongst the glorious, so obviously I'm going to speak with the Iron Marshal. I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. Glare silently. What of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
He's face-palming. The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. So they do need to work together to accomplish this. Hence the reason for the edict, to get them to stop fucking around, mistrusting each other, and get to work. I would be honored to help. Gain some disfavored favor. I'm still not up to rank 1 with them, though. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out, if you must. And there goes the Iron Marshal. Quest completed, the Conqueror's Will. You announce Kairos' edict to Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat, but whether they actually begin working together remains to be seen. I've got to do taking the Outer Valley. The Scarlet Chorus are currently attempting to secure the outer ring of Vendrian's Well. You need to help them deal with rebel forces in the area before Kairos' armies may safely march upon the Citadel. When you met with the Archons, you learned that the Scarlet Chorus has an ongoing operation in Tripnettle, which hasn't proven successful. Speak with the Fifth Eye at the Scarlet Chorus camp and see what you can do to assist. And I have the Battle of Echo Call Crossing. Echo Call Crossing must be taken before Kairos' forces can press their attack on the Vendrian's Well, Citadel. Help the disfavored subdue the rebels and take control of the crossing. Speak with Iron Marshal at the disfavored camp to discuss how you should approach the battle for Echo Call Crossing. So basically I have to do like one quest for each faction here. Plus whatever side quests like this I pick up. Has my biography updated? Not yet. Notes. I didn't even notice this before. I can make my own notes. Oh. It's like a fucking tweet. It's only a few characters. Oh, that's just the name of the note. Okay, fine. I made a note. You know what? Let's delete that shit. What am I even doing? Okay, so reputation is going well. So when I get this to this, I get a passive hit precision bonus. Bonus to resolve. More hit precision. Almost got Fury's Rage. You notice you don't get abilities from the Voices Engraven reputation. Appalled by your lack of support for the disfavored. Pleased by your honorable words and actions. Rarely criticized to its faces. Nice. Elated by your violent, subversive words and actions. Okay. Remember to make a Quen spell. No Quen spell. Investigate the presence of cows. These are things that they want me to put in my notes. Scum save! How you doing? Josiah, do we ever get to see an edict happen? Like, are there edict events with crazy-ass apocalyptic graphics or whatever? I don't know the answer to that, Scum Save. I'm gonna find out, though. I'm totes gonna find out, because I have 7 days to the Day of Swords. But before I actually complete this thing, I'm gonna stop and save the game and rest a bunch of times so that my time runs out, so I can see exactly what happens when the time runs out. Will do. This battle report from the Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village of the Scarlet Chorus. Oh, we read this already. Apparently those scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Let's
Good
steal.
thing I keep a
We're
torch and
stealing
ranch handy.
from Graven Ash. That seems like a brilliant thing to do. And
On the lookout.
we're looking for hidden shit. Steal some more stuff from Graven Ash. Whetstone. Alright, let's try to... I was like, I'm gonna pick his pocket, but then I remembered there's no pickpocketing in this game. What am I thinking? I'm gonna try to talk to Graven Ash again. Look at his defenses! Holy shit! Can you imagine trying to fight that dude? 145 fucking dodge, 157 parry, 20 armor. Yeah, he would fucking be impossible to defeat at this point. But maybe you get to fight him at the end of the game and kick his ass. I don't know. Anyway, we will... Oh, she's got something new to say. How did you do that? Burst looks at you with a quizzical expression. Do what? Back in the Archon's war tent, you cast an edict as casually as reading a supply shipment. How did you do that? Well, I've done it before. Cast the Edict of Fire on the Vellum Citadel. I heard about it. How Kairos' anger raised a volcano from under the Sage's own fortress. That was some impressive work. That was me, all right? Well, call me impressed. Considering that you've read the words of Kairos more than once, I'm surprised you're even alive to tell of it. Your vocal cords should have turned to ash by now. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just worth recognizing what you've done. Not only are you Tunon's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places, and I want to see where they lead. If you say so. I have some questions about you.
What do you need?
Ooh, I can ask her a new thing about our travels. I want to ask about our travels.
What did you have in mind?
What do you think of our present circumstances? Well, there's an edict hanging over our heads. As far as I'm concerned, the incompetence of the disfavored got us into this mess, and it will take the fury of the Scarlet Chorus to get us out of it. In other words, nothing ever changes. Like war never changes. Wonder if your character's just talented or if they have some special power. I don't know. I mean, you are the PC, so you probably do have some special power.
Go ahead, Fatebinder.
We'll talk again later. Alright, so we'll try to talk to Graven Ash again here in a moment. But that is going to be in our next episode. If you're watching the stream, I am not done playing. I'm going to keep on playing for many more hours. But if you're watching on YouTube, that is going to do it for this episode. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Tyranny.